Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Alt Kings podcast. I'm your host, Tate, and today we are bringing back a throwback. We got the one and only Ancient Panda, also known as Vaughn. How you doing today?
I'm doing really great, Tate, man. Nice to be on. I believe this is actually the third time, man. So I say really thank you guys for the opportunity to be on once again, man.
Well, I hate to say it though, Vaughn. The second time we recorded this, it wasn't able to be posted just because of the content was just, I guess the quality of it wasn't up to my liking. And so I didn't want to release it. And I wanted to make sure we got you back on for a second time. But throwing it all the way back to the first time we ever hosted you, you were actually our fourth ever podcast on the Alt Kings podcast. And that was over a year ago today. So it's quite a long time ago that we were able to actually officially host you once again on the show. I'm sorry about the second time we hosted you. I really wanted to post that, but it just not everything lined up in that show, and I just didn't want to throw something out for everybody to see that wasn't up to my quality. And so here we are. We're making things back better than ever, and I'm ready to start off with a bang. So how have things been ever since?
Man, things been very well, man. Even if the second time, hey, I'm still grateful to be back on. You guys
Of
always
course,
hold a
of
very
course.
great show, man. But things with Pandamania has been really good. We now have Clown Society. We have PMX Gaming going as well now. We're also starting a new venture. We're trying to go back into connecting Web 2 with Web 3. Something almost like you have going with the Renegades, man. I'm very
Yep.
excited
It
for
actually reminded me a lot just like the Renegades, to be honest with you.
yeah, something actually you have that. It was some ideal I had. I don't know if you remember when we originally had the trucking company. Rudon was actually part of the team.
Yep,
Yeah, we had the
I
trucking and
recall that.
going. Yeah, like that idea was like reborn. Then when you guys like was doing it, I was like, okay, this is okay. This may be the time to start connecting Web 2 with Web 3. It actually inspired me to get back into okay, let's focus on adding like real world value back into the space because really this is what's going to last. This, you know what I'm saying? And this is something that could survive, let's say, a bear market in a way. Like, for example, you guys do Bitcoin mining. We're working with reselling cars. This is something that doesn't need a bull market in order to keep cash flow coming into the project, having a steady foundation for your holders and rewarding your community.
Couldn't have said it better, Vaughn. That's so great that you're forward thinking now, and you're not thinking of what is survivable just in a bull. You're thinking of what's survivable in a bull, bear, whatever market there is. It's a feasible product that is sustainable and scalable at the end of the day. And so I can't wait to dive more into that. But I'd love to talk a little more about Pandamania right now. I'd like to mention Pandamania is a collection of NFT projects that is set to bring change to the digital and real world, providing value to the world around us and inspiring love and change for a better tomorrow, bringing value to our NFT holders and allowing them to use us to make a difference in the world. We are love, we are hope, we are one, we are Pandamania. Those are some incredible words. Although I did stumble over them, I'd love to start off by asking, out of all four games you currently have, which has been the most successful so far? Is it Bust or
Definitely
Miss, Hash Bingo, Slot Clowns, or Wheel of Gold?
Mingo Bust and Miss. It's our version of coin flip. It's actually animated
Gotcha.
as well. If you ever played it, it's actually animated.
Nice.
You have animated spin, but we have something that a lot of projects don't have. Actually, we're the only project actually on Hedera currently that has a play to earn system set up on our gaming. People have the lottos usually, whereas in anybody have a
Yeah.
chance to lotto, but now with our play to earn system, everybody who plays our game earns. We have tokens like Bull Bar, we have Saucy Nuke. Currently, we even have Dove. That's one of
Wow.
the biggest coins on the ecosystem as of now. We have Dove right now for play to earn kickback rewards for those who are playing our game. Mingo Bust and Miss, which is like I said, is our coin flip, has actually been the most successful game on our platform. It actually is probably responsible for more than 75% of our volume, actually.
Amazing. I know you've surpassed over 1 million HBAR total in gaming volume. How close are you to that next milestone? I saw your roadmap. It said 2.5 million was the next. Have you achieved it yet?
No, we actually I think when we got into gaming, it was like it started off really good, and it was like everybody stopped playing games. I don't know what happened, but it's like a bull. Then it's like a bear for games. Like as soon as we got into it, so it's like okay, we got to that 1 million, and as soon as we hit the 1 million, everything just started slowing down.
Oh,
Even with
good.
our play to earn aspect, like I said, and that's guaranteed kickback earning kickback rewards. There's like everything just started slowing down. Right as of now, we've been just basically sharpening the games, improving where we can with the games. Like the new UI you see is actually a very new UI for our landing page.
Very clean.
Yeah, we just added some more home buttons for each game, so now they could go back from each game back to the landing page straight from the games. We didn't have that feature before. Like I said, we added Dove recently as well. So it's like we just basically been sharpening what we have built as of now to help face the bear. And like now we're focusing more on let's say expansion, hopefully.
Nice. Expansion's key. And to be honest with you, Vaughn, you're one of those guys who I always knew would never stop developing something. I knew you would never leave this space and I knew you would constantly continue to create. And I want to highlight, although I don't know the exact statistics, I know it's high, but I want you to mention how much an HBAR value that you've given back so far to the community.
1.35 million HBAR. We
Absolutely incredible. We need more people like you in this space giving back. Just simply giving back really does so much, regardless of what it may be to all, especially giving back over 1.3 million HBAR in value. Like that alone says a lot about who you are as an individual, as well as how you want to execute your project and provide value back to the holders. And I just want to applaud you on that because truly, those are big numbers that nobody really can compete with in this space unless you're going to, at the end of the day, either create more NFTs to try to give back, quote unquote, more value. But it seems as if you went the complete other approach and you've onboarded other collections to your ecosystem, whether it be buying those NFTs and giving them away or just finding unique ways to generate value and give it back to the community. And it really warms my heart at the end of the day.
Yes, man.
'Cause that's yeah, those numbers is something that needed to be mentioned, and I'm happy we were able to do so today.
and and not to brag any, but or to flatter ourselves, but to be completely honest, like a lot of people when they do give backs, a lot of them they do give backs from their very own project. But something we did at
Of course.
Pandamania, we actually purchased a lot of other projects and had
Yep,
actual like real giveaways, real givebacks, real Rumble events. Whereas when we actually supported, let's say 90% of the projects that probably launched on Hedera, 85% of the projects probably launched on Hedera, and like different communities that's been given. We even had people from our community that goes to other communities just from our giveaways. So it's just we're not just focusing on our community, but we helped multiple communities as well with Hedera.
yep,
It's actually real volume. This is like real giving back. And something you read that was in the quote on our website, real world differences as well. These numbers
yeah.
doesn't include what our community has done in real life of giveaway events because we have now we're on our third annual Christmas toy giveaway event being set up for mid December. This is actually our fourth in real life event. We did have a back to school event 1 year, so this is actually going to be our fourth in real life
I
event.
love
This is something like making a difference in real life. That's the big focus on Pandamania because we know it's hard for a lot of people, especially in certain areas of the world. Whereas in like you could put a smile on this person's face and make a difference. It's not just giving to community like on Web 3, but also making a difference in Web 2 still. Like that's just a vision I've always had that the project always shared together.
yeah. So how's the Christmas drive donation going this year so far?
It's actually I think we raised more than we ever did
That's amazing.
this year.
Constant growth.
It,
Gotta
it,
love
it
that.
it was actually definitely needed. We actually had one guy donate like $1,000 himself.
Wow.
Yeah, we and he actually did more than we are raised by himself, like over 50% more than himself. Like it was actually slow in the beginning, but one guy donated like $1,000, and it's an anonymous guy. I really don't who know what it is at all. That was like a really
It's
wonderful
amazing.
giveaway. We had to buy the equipment this year as well because we're changing the locations that we had it because I do want more traffic in a
Yeah.
different area. Whereas then we don't have to be out there for hours and have to take the toys to another spot to pass out the rest of them. I want it actually in the one area. Whereas then okay, everybody's going to come, they can see it and it drives the toys out faster. We actually
It's
had
a
to
great
buy it
approach.
this year, so it was really good that we actually did beat it because, like I said, we had to get the equipment for everything this year instead of partnering up with a church, a local church that was closer this time. So
You're scaling. and it's noticeable
Mhm.
just by these statements that you're making right now. I'm curious to know, have you ever donated to charities by chance?
No, we actually every time we donated was actually in real life giveaway events. That was the biggest
Nice.
thing. We actually held events, and I take pictures, heat transparency. Last year we did even we even went to Children's Hospital last year, helped out families. Like I say, I document everything, show some pictures. Then so it's an experience these people actually get to see. So you see where your money's going.
Definitely. Yeah, that's amazing. And I think it feels so much more real whenever you actually get to see it yourself.
Mhm.
The reason why I ask about charities is because, not to hate them at all, by all means. I love majority of charities out there. Obviously, there's always going to be some worse than others, unfortunately. But so a while back, probably about 6 months ago, I took some of our community funds and donated it to charity, as that was a part of our white paper back for the Hedera crowns. And I bought a lot of merchandise that was the Alt Kings and Royal Labs branded. And it was a local charity of mine. And they gave back to the homeless in the St. Louis area. And so I thought this is a great concept. I really love it. I got a hold of the charity, I guess it'd be the charity founder, and reached out to him, met up with him, gave him all my clothes and some cash as well. And all I was asking for, simply put it, was just some photos. A couple months go by. I follow up, hoping that this charity drive that these clothing items were going to, I'd be able to actually see my photos. Turns out he never got back to me on any of it. And he said that eventually he actually got back to me. I apologize. He got back to me, but he said he never got around to taking photos and sharing me what and where this stuff went. And it was really honestly heartbreaking, because I just wanted to see these people actually be able to wear our clothing. And what I learned from that was simply just go do it yourself and not put it into the hands of somebody else hoping that they will provide you what you want. Just go out and do it. And so moving forward, I'm just going to go out and do it like what you're doing already. And so that's why I wanted to mention it. But based off of that, at the end of the day, I know that they all only meant well. And I'm just thankful that I was at least able to help somebody. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Hey man, that's really that all that matters, bro. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I always. I question some charities because I do feel like
Yeah.
is okay. I don't want to seem conspiracy theory, you know what I'm saying? But I do question some charities. Like, where is the money actually going? Or
So
it's almost
true.
like taxes. When you pay your taxes, you don't know where your government's going to put your money. Really, you know what I'm saying? It just goes into
Yeah.
war, goes into you don't know where your money's actually going. So it's okay. Now you have this. You can set up the event. If you have the time, the energy to set up the event, then it means more. Helping
Yeah.
hand. I believe it's Helping Hope or Helping Hand. They're also on Hedera. Like I love seeing when they do
Yeah. Helping hands.
yeah, I love seeing when they're doing their giveaways, and I say, okay, this is what it's about. You can actually, it's the real feeling. That's what drives me every year doing it because it's a real feeling. You can see the families, like to see the kids' excitement. You can see the happiness. Wow, somebody's actually doing this. Somebody actually taking the time to help us out. Like, and that experience alone is worth it every year.
Definitely. That's amazing. I'm going to keep that in the back of my head moving forward regarding how I'm going to give back to the community around me. I know that based off your white paper, you got some potential new games in the pipeline for December moving into 2024. What are some of those games we can expect to see in this near future?
Actually, we launched one of them early. You know what I'm saying? We
Nice.
literally
Nice.
launched the wheel spin earlier than planned it because it's
Sure.
like okay, it's already developed now. We here.
Might as well.
Yeah, I'm saying I already paid for the development. I don't want to just sitting in the background. We wasn't supposed to launch it till we hit 2.5 million in volume anyway, but we launched it early. That was one of the games that was supposed to come. We have. I don't want to really say anything else because probably right now, while everything's still slow, I won't develop any games. Like I said, I would just sharpen the other games right now until volume picks back up and everything.
Smart approach. What's this gamer celebration event going on at the end of this month?
Hmm. I would say this. Probably just rewarding all the gamers, just like a gamers event, like a rumble. Anybody that actually played games or that reach a certain volume within the games, make a special role for them in Discord and have a little giveaway for them, giveaway events.
Nice. Not bad. That's a really cool idea, and I think it really just gets everybody collectively involved back into the gaming space and got those additional rewards out there for them to win as well. I think this is also a perfect time to transition into kind of what we've been dabbling a little bit into earlier into this show. In my eyes, one of the main focuses of the show. Let's talk about your latest venture now, connecting Web 2 and Web 3 through the automotive industry. You're going to be purchasing used cars for reselling while opening the door to Web 3 users to be rewarded. What are your thoughts on this? How did you get the inspiration from it? I know you mentioned that you got a little inspiration from the U2 Renegades and some other ventures you have, but what really ignite the spark for the automotive industry and flipping cars?
It's something I'm actually used to already. For anyone who doesn't know, I actually work in a mechanic shop right now. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So this, and I have 2 to 3 years experience already selling cars. It's something like read that rekindled. I feel like you guys definitely spark it back up. It's okay. These guys actually connecting Web 2 to Web 3 again. Even
Yeah.
mining Bitcoins, like they're bringing value doing something that doesn't need, let's say, for instance, it takes constant mints, and you know what I'm saying, in order to reward your holders when you're focusing
Definitely.
completely on Web3. And now I'm at the positions like, okay, I actually have a collection right now prepared to mint if needed. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't really want to launch this collection because I have a lot of other collections I need to bring value back to or bring value to the holders. Whereas in, okay, now what can I do to bring these rewards? And these rewards not based on basically, let's say, the community, the Web3 community. Now we could
Yeah.
control the wars even more because it's back into Web2. Now it's focused on business. It's focusing on, let's say, stability on the real world economy. Or let's say cars is something that's needed everywhere. Somebody's going to always need a car. And with us already having a car shop, a mechanic shop, it drives already into our clientele. So we have customers already now. Yo, do you have any cars to sell? Do you guys sell cars as well? So this is a clientele that we already have that say, okay, how can we combine this shop, which is going to basically provide discounts as well, because we do work with other dealers at the shop. So now,
Yeah.
whereas they have to pay this price as a regular dealer, we're dealers now, but we're giving ourselves 20% discounts on parts and labor. Does that make sense? So now it
Yeah.
leaves even more wiggle room and profits for our holders. So it was like the ideal of just thinking outside of the box, or okay, this is something I'm more comfortable in. And I say, okay, this is something I'm already used to. Whereas when I went into trucking, is okay, this is something that's everybody's doing. That's obviously was the hot thing or trending topic at the time. But I realized that when I
Yeah.
got into it, I basically got into where the bubble popped when there was too many people in the industry already. Whereas it's okay, how can I learn from those failures? How can I learn and say, okay, and keep creating? Or even with gaming, okay, when gaming values slow down, how can I reward the holders even with gaming values slowing down? So it's the constant, it's almost the constant desire to satisfy your holders or to reward your holders or give people a chance to like, and I hate seeing that because, but that's really what it is. Because it's like, it's,
No, it is. You have to have an obsession towards that. You have to want to be eager about satisfying your holders and even over satisfying them to an extent.
and it frustrates me. It frustrates me to a point. It was like, okay, I want to be here, but I'm not there yet. How can I keep creating this or not giving over or pivoting till I get to this point I want to reach? Because I do feel like we're undervalued. I do feel like we was overlooked. I do feel like we deserved more, especially like given 1.3 million. Like, not many projects have accomplished that. But ideal
No.
is okay. How can I still do this drive, but focus and have it more organized? Whereas in usually when we had our original utility, we were everywhere. Now we're focusing on gaming. You know what I'm saying? Now we have a more niche. Whereas okay, we're focusing on the gaming side. Now we're going to say okay, we're focusing not just on gaming side. That's the Web 3 combination, but we're now could have that Web 2 tied with it as well. So we keep our
Yeah.
gaming, but now we also introduce this. Okay, now that volume is even slow in gaming, we have something another stability or source of income that keeps the cash flow running into the project and into holders.
Couldn't have said it better. So how are you merging two of them together? Specifically Web3. So I'm assuming it's basically just based off of the profits generated from the revenue going back to the Web3 holders, or would it be like turning these used cars into NFTs and having the Web2 users purchase them as NFTs and then they get the real car with it? Is it something along those lines, or would it be more or less the first?
More the first. I actually,
Gotcha. I figured so.
it's crazy that you said that because I actually thought both of those ideas through.
Great minds think alike.
It's really crazy you said it. I literally thought both of those ideas through, and I said, okay. It's actually two different tiers. We have the gold tier and we have the silver tier. Uh, so did this in my mic's acting up? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, so we have the gold tier, we have the silver tier. The gold tier is basically those who's going to help with, I wouldn't say the startup costs, but it helps complete the requirements we need for the dealer's license. Like, only things we need right now is the session off part of the shop, turn into an office, because they do require like an office space where like people can actually feel comfortable, and we need the insurance to cover the insurance that needed for having the dealer's license. So those are
Gotcha.
basically the only two things we need. But we already have the shop. We have a lot already for the car. So everything that already comes with the shop. So
So you're gonna be partnering up with the dealership, or I guess the shop you already work with, more or less. Right?
yes, sir.
Nice.
And with that, the investors, we call them invested car marketers. So the investors, basically, in a way, what happens? They basically, the gold tier, they basically pay for the startup. But thing is, they're not paying for just for the startup. Their rewards come back in multiple cars, so they get a percentage of profits from multiple cars. Then we have the silver tier, whereas in they only come in at the buy-in price. You know what I'm saying? So they only come in and say, okay, we have this car available. Let's say if it's this car, $3,000, that's going to take for parts, labor, and the car itself. You know what I'm saying? That covers parts, labor, in the car. We have $3,000 buy in. We have, let's say, the minimum is $100 for silver tiers to invest into it. So we have 30 people that could come in and invest in this. Okay, now say if it's the target price to sell this car is $5,000, $6,000. Now we take 15% out for taxes after sale. Then, because like I said, it's tied to a very legit business. So everything
Yeah.
also is contract based. So we're locking in your profits through a contract. Even if it break even, we would still try to cover it best as we could. Or like say we would tell you, okay, this is break even, guys. Let's try to refund us, and we can refund it. Then anybody who wants to decide to put their money to the next car puts their money to the next car. You know what I'm saying? That's what the silver tier offers. You know what I'm saying? You go by
Yeah.
each car with the silver tier, but gold tier, you only have to do one time investment and you profit off multiple cars until your target percentage profit is reached.
You got a price line, how much the gold tier might cost, how much the silver tier might cost?
Yes, the gold tier is a minimum $500 invested, because I think it's startup and you're investing off of multiple cars. You're
Of
profiting off
course.
of multiple cars. And the
Yeah.
silver tier minimum is, it's also a limited spots for gold tier. It's only 15 people could come into gold tier. Like I said, I do want to keep it very limited with gold tier because I do want to have people where they can see their profits much faster.
Makes sense.
Then now with silver tier, like I said, the minimum will be $100. You can only buy at each car buy-in.
So it'll be basically every new car that is released to invest into, you'd have to put another $100 if you want to be a part of it.
Correct. But thing is, you get your $100 back at the end of that car profits. You know what I'm saying? Every time that one car
Makes
sold, you
sense.
get your $100 plus your percentage. Let's say if it's we're aiming for 10 to 75%, we sold that car. Let's say we sold the car for $4,000, and your reward, you put $1,000 out of that $4,000 into it, and we sold it. Let's say $2,000 altogether for that buy-in. You'll get that 20% profit. Let's say if it's 20% profit at that time, you put $1,000 in, you'll get $1,200 back.
Bad. Not bad at all. So what are the margins when it comes to used car purchasing and then going from purchasing the vehicle to reselling it? Obviously, each car varies, but do you have like an average baseline that you can base things off of moving
Yes.
forward when it comes to these margins?
Yes, actually, like I say, with my experience already in it, I can tell you from experience, like most cars usually sells for 80 to 120%, usually around that area. Uh, But that, like I said, it depends on the cars, the parts, and the labor. That's
Yeah,
with the dealer's license. That's like around the margin, probably with the dealer's license. You know what I'm saying? It depends. Now, it's
sure.
it's different from brand new cars, but we're talking about used cars. The thing we're going to use is co-parts and something called IA. I don't know if you ever heard of any of those, but those are like car auctions that's online. But you have better access when you have the dealer's license, so you could get like better pricing. Maybe something. Let's say maybe got hit in the back. For instance, we had a car recently. We actually kept this car. When the mechanic actually kept this car, but we got a car that got hit in the back. Say, for instance, right? We paid what $1,200 in the auction for the car, but it was like $600 to get it shipped. That was $1,800. Then these are just example numbers. The car in itself
Yeah.
looks really good. You know what I'm saying? We could probably sell this car if he decided he's keeping the car, but we could probably sell a car for $4,500. You know what I'm saying? It costs another $800 to $900 to fix it. So it's 18 plus the nine. That's put you at
27.
2,700. He can sell it easily for 4,500. You know what I'm saying? Those are like,
Yeah, there's about that. That's a little under 100%.
you know what I'm saying? So that's usually
Yeah.
around the range. So that's what we're aiming for. More cars like that, for instance.
Nice. That's a really smart approach. And personally, myself, I work for a dealership as well down near St. Louis, and I'm a detail tech, so I clean all the vehicles that we get that our dealership purchases. And then after I'm done detailing them and they hit service, they go out on the lot and then they're ready to be sold. So I'm fairly rounded when it comes to reselling
Mhm,
vehicles, how much their pricing may be prior to being detailed and fixed up,
mhm.
and then what we list them for. And I gotta say, a lot of these times, the margins for what we list them for compared to what we buy them for, man,
It's
they
amazing.
sure do rock.
It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? This is like for smaller, you know what I'm saying? But bigger dealerships, when they do
Yeah.
it, like they're charging possibly 150%. You know what I'm saying? Like it depends.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the margins are insane, especially with this market right now. I
Mhm,
feel as if, in some cases, arguably speaking, the car market's very overvalued.
mhm,
It's very like trying to buy a brand new car right now is fairly overpriced in my eyes
mhm.
compared to buying one, say, 3, 4 years ago.
I agree. I actually agree a
Yeah.
ton, man. I do feel like there will be a used car bubble eventually to come in the future.
Yeah,
Uh,
probably, just like real estate once again
mm,
and a lot of other markets.
but like I say, it's just the idea. Like now is the best time to actually get into cars. Like before tax time, I
Yeah,
don't like from my personal experience. I know for a fact tax time is like peak season for car sales. Like I, most of the time I was in it, I sold most of my cars during tax time. But only thing is, at tax time, it's also higher at the auctions. You know what I'm saying? So it's higher for the dealers, but it usually goes out like this. If you could go to
makes
auction and buy
sense.
a decent car, it goes out like this in tax time. Even if it's like a quick $1,000, $2,000 profit, like it goes out like this. That's the goal. That's really the goal to get into everything definitely before tax time. Get started now. Go to get our clientele built. Go to get our brand built and everything ready, prepare for tax time.
So I'm assuming Beyond Automotive is the shop that you're currently working with.
Mhm.
I could be wrong,
That's
but
correct.
is that right?
That's correct.
Nice. Just wanted to clarify that because I saw that at the bottom of the photo or the picture you sent me, and yeah, I just wanted to make sure everything was right with that.
Mhm.
When do you plan on releasing this new venture? By chance, is it planning on coming to 2024 or maybe the end of this year?
Actually, very soon. I'm gonna start collecting the funds. I
Nice.
wanted to get the Christmas toy giveaway out the way, but I'm gonna start collecting funds mid and to the end of December. I want to start selling our first car in beginning of January. Like I said, I want to get everything definitely started and known before tax time comes in.
Smart thinking. Is there anything else that you'd want to mention about this new venture or just Pandamania in general, Vaughn? You've really answered all my questions. I'm pretty excited to see what the future of Pandamania holds, especially with this new venture that you guys are bringing a part of your ecosystem. But is there anything else you'd like to mention?
As of now, like I say, there will be possibly a expansion of Pandemania. First, I want to see how the response is with the card situation here on Hedera, whether we expand or not, because I do feel like this is an idea that could work really well on either other ecosystems as well. And plus, with our gaming, Dev do know how to build on like different chains. We may take some games over there, but I don't really want to focus too much on the gaming because I do know the legalities of that as well
Yeah,
that some people have. But thing is, I do want to say this: with it being play to earn, it's no longer really gambling because you always win something. You know what I'm saying?
couldn't have said it better.
Yeah. So
That's
that
amazing.
definitely help a lot with the legalities of it, but you always win something every time you play now. All you have to do is have the token ID associated. There will be probably a new token IDs. We do rotate token IDs. Like I said, we did have Saucy. Now you have Bull Bar and Dove. That's one, and now and PMX. PMX is like our forever token for the holders.
Nice. Amazing. Vaughn, it's really been a true pleasure, man. This podcast has really excited me for the future of Panamania, but has flown so absolutely well. It's incredible. I just want to thank you once again for coming on and taking the time to join me on the Alt Kings podcast. It's been a pleasure as always. You're a killer in the space. You're always doing something new, and you're actually always innovating and thinking of new ways to generate consistent quality streams of revenue to bring back and bring to your holders. Thank you for everything you do for HBAR and the Hedera ecosystem. I truly appreciate it, and I know many else HBARbarians out there appreciate it as well.
Thank you so much, Tate. Really a pleasure again for you having me on, man. I thank you again. And hey, man, I'm gonna say this. I love rocking my Alt King hat. Every day I have one on. I have 3 of them, so
Love it. I was just talking about those earlier.
yeah,
I
man.
was talking to Mark and he was like, I was like, I gotta talk to Von later. And I was like, I just love how he always supports us and how he's got his Alt Kings hats and stuff like that. And it's amazing. Couldn't because he was asking me about the photo on that document you sent me if it was you or not. I was like, I think so. He used to
No,
send me photos of him in his Alt Kings hats, and it looks like the same guy. I could be wrong though.
no, that's not me on that. That was actually something. Yeah, that was a placeholder on camera. That wasn't me on that.
What a way to end the show off a flop. How about that?
No, you're good. Actually, I could
It,
actually rock the Alt Kings hat, man, during our last year Christmas toy giveaway when we went to the Children's Hospital. I actually have a picture, but I had
I
never
love
showed the
it.
picture because it was actually I would have been doxing myself. But I'll send you the picture. I'll send you the picture.
Appreciate you. Hey, I'm gonna get you one of these hats too. Don't you worry.
Oh yeah, I need one of those Royal Lab hats now too, man.
Yes, sir.
Definitely got actually.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this show, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm definitely getting Vaughn back on here soon because, man, since our last show, it's been a minute. We're going to make sure that you're coming on at least every couple months now because you're killing it in the space. You're always just bringing value. I can't say it enough. That's what you bring. Vaughn starts with a V, so does value. It connects. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you all next episode. Peace.
Peace, man.
Welcome to Gilmore Estates, where we pave your way to real estate success. Our state-of-the-art platform is tailored to empower people from diverse backgrounds, helping them thrive in the world of real estate investment. Through the magic of Hedera NFTs, educational resources, and regular evaluations, you'll not only learn but also earn valuable HTS token, G-Coin rewards along the way. Our innovative tokenomics model closely replicates real estate cash flow dynamics, meaning the more G-Coin you possess, the larger your monthly cash flow. And the cherry on top, our Launchpad grants you the opportunity to own fractions of assets from well-established real estate holding companies. Unleash your potential and start your journey to financial success with Gilmore Estates today.